Hi, Dave Spilker here with Network Engineering. I wanted to talk a little bit about passwords and some best practices, some good techniques. There's a number of different articles that have been reporting that studies show folks are using passwords that have been breached already in the past. If you've got a password you've used for years and years, it's probably been breached. So it's a good idea to change your passwords on a regular basis. One thing is, don't store your passwords in a browser. Don't tell your browser to save your passwords. Saving your passwords in an Excel document that is password protected, that's not very good. Excel password protection can be compromised in just a few minutes. There's a lot of tools out there that are capable of doing that. You might consider something like a password safe. Again, that product can be downloaded from passwordsafe.org. You can use that and set that up and then store your passwords in it. If you use Google Docs or Google Sheets, be very careful. Don't store password information in either of those locations. It is way too easy for that to be open for anyone in your company to see. Also, if you use Google Docs or Google Sheets, be absolutely sure you log out of your session before you close your browser. Many people will go use Google Sheets or Google Docs, do different things, and then just close their browser. The next day, they leave their machine on and they go to lunch, and somebody walks up and clicks the browser, and it pops up and it brings up a document that lists all the passwords. A, don't put all the passwords in a Google Doc. B, whatever you put in Google Docs or Google Sheets, log out of your account before you close your browser. Another thing is how you structure your passwords. Okay, if you are W.E. Coyote and your password is Roadrunner on your corporate network, then don't use the username W.E. Coyote and the password Roadrunner on every other site you visit. If you work in an environment where you have to have lots of different passwords to several different websites, try and make them completely different than your corporate username and password. And certainly make sure that your bank account password is something completely different than any other password you use. I've seen situations where their job involved doing maintenance on diesel equipment, and so they had to log into Cummins.com, and they had to log into Freightliner.com, and they had to log into MyDieselParts.com. And on every one of those websites, if they used the same username and password, and one of those sites were to get hacked, suddenly their corporate credentials are also at risk. So just try and have some differences. Now, I know people will do a similar variation of a password for different sites. That's probably okay. But again, keep that completely different than your Windows password, and make sure that's completely different than your investment and banking passwords. Make sure your passwords are complex. Make sure they have multiple digits. Make sure they have some special characters in them as well as numbers. You can also, another technique I've seen used is to use a keyboard, perhaps press down the shift key and type some different keys and then let go, and then like a square as an example, you could go across and then down and then across and then back up with your keys, and not really spell a real word. It could just be some nonsense characters. But that's a technique that can be used to make a memorable password that is be very difficult for someone to crack. Don't use your wife's name, your dog's name, your birthday, your kid's birthday. Don't use things like that. I'm Dave Spilker. This has been a discussion about passwords from Network Engineering, ne-inc.com. That's our website. Thanks for watching.